Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer. It's opening day at Oaklawn on Friday, and the Friday race of the day is the Smarty Jones Stakes for 3-year-olds hoping to take that next step on the Arkansas Trail to the Kentucky Derby. The Smarty Jones is at a 2-turn mile. Before we get to the analysis, not only the Smarty Jones on Friday, you got Pegasus World Cup Saturday. DRF's got all the handicapping information available for you. Formulator PPs, Timeform US PPs, enhanced entries, DRF picks, lots more. Learn more at drf.com/Pegasus. Here's the field for the $150,000 Smarty Jones. We've got 9 3-year-olds getting set to step 8 furlongs, and you can download free formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Access them, handicap along with us. I want to start things off with the Timeform US Pace Projector. I agree with the red bar scenario. You've got stretch out sprinters in here like the 4 Nucky, the 6 Gold Street. This could set things up for a mid-pack runner, a stalker, or even one of those deep closers.
Yeah, I mean, this pace feels like it has to be at least honest. I mean, I think both of those horses, the 4 and 6, have to come out of there running.
Number 1, Lycan, I think also is probably going to show some stretch out speed. This horse just didn't handle the slop last time out, going 6 furlongs. 2 and 3 back, okay. Buyer's a little bit light. Not really sure I love this horse, though, if he's going to be embroiled in a hot pace, stretching out for the first time. The second dam speed dialer won the Arlington, Washington Lassie. I guess a mile is within this horse's scope, but he's going to have to prove it against better horses with a pace situation that might not be to his liking.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the distance with him. You just wonder if this is, the right spot to stretch him out for the first time, because he feels like he's in pretty tough here. He's going to be a big price. I did think his maiden win first time on dirt was actually pretty good. I thought he ran well that day, but his next 2 starts leave him with plenty to find against a field like this.
The number 2 Silver Prospector, one of several entrants in here, trained by Steve Asmussen, made his first 3 starts on turf. No real surprise considering he's by declaration of war, but it appears he has found himself on the dirt. The Dam, a stakes place dirt router. Let's watch his Keeneland graduation day against maidens. This is a 91 Beyer speed figure effort going 6.5 furlongs. And since this race, he's the gray horse making the front. He ran an okay third in the Street Sense and then came off the pace last time out in the Grade 2 Kentucky Jockey Club, beating Enforceable, who came back to win the Grade 3 Lecomte last week at the Fairgrounds with an 89 Beyer. I think that change in running style to a more patient rating gear last time out really serves him well in this spot.
I thought he ran well in the Kentucky Jockey Club last time. I mean, he did beat a couple of nice horses, Enforceable, who you mentioned. Maybe didn't get the greatest trip in the world that day. He also beat Tiz the Law, who's a really nice horse. Maybe that horse didn't get the greatest trip in the world either. We'll see. I have no knocks on this horse, Dan. Of the 4 Asmussens, I don't know if he's necessarily the one I would want if he was going to be the shortest price, but he makes a lot of sense in this race.
The number 3 is Shared Sense. This is a Godolphin colt, still a maiden, but one with a really nice pedigree. He's by Street Sense out of a full sister to Penwith, a graded stakes winner, and the second dam was a multiple stakes winning dirt router. Composure, I believe, won the Santa Anita Oaks as one of her Grade 1 races. Now, second best last time out to Blackberry Wine. I think that horse is a little bit underrated. When Joe Sharp runs Blackberry Wine on the turf, it doesn't work out. He tried turf with this horse in the start after beating Shared Sense, ran third with a 78 Beyer. They put Blackberry Wine back on dirt. He came back to score with a 94 the other day.
Yeah, I mean, this horse, he didn't run great last time as a 3-5 favorite, but he really had no chance at all with the race Blackberry Wine ran. Blackberry Wine just crushed that field. And this horse, it was a sloppy track. It was his 2-turn debut, and he was game to get second in that race. He just feels like a horse who really wants distance. I thought his race 2 back was pretty good. I thought his race last time was pretty good. I don't know what the hurry is with them. I don't know why they have to run him in a stakes race as he's still a maiden right now. But this horse has a lot of upside.
The number 4 Nucky is already a Grade 1 stakes winner. He upset the Delmar Futurity at 35-1, but I think you got to put a big asterisk next to that race because the 2 horses to beat, 8 Rings and Storm the Court, they lost their riders at the start and it was just chaos after that. Nucky just hasn't run back to that race since. In the American Pharaoh, he only beat 1 horse in the Heft Stakes last time out. They dropped him in class. They turned him back. He beat 0 horses. He's going to show speed in here, but he has to prove that Delmar Futurity wasn't a one-off fluke.
Yeah, I mean, they can't take the Grade 1 away from him now, Dan, but he's hard to like based on what he's done since that race.
The 5 is Jungle Runner. He might be the biggest price of the Steve Asmussen trained runners. This horse was beaten 14 lengths by the number 7 Shoplifted in the Springboard Mile. It broke a mini 2-race win streak, but he wasn't really fast going into that race. I think he's got a beautiful enough pedigree where we can continue to see improvement. I just wonder if this is a bit too much too soon.
I wonder too. He's got to start running faster races at some point. I thought the wins 2 and 3 back were both actually pretty good, and he looked like he still had some learning to do. He just was really no factor last time in the spring, but I actually liked him a little bit in that race and bet a few dollars on him. He never was able to get involved, and this feels like it's an even tougher race than that one was.
Number 6 is Gold Street, never out of the exacta from 4 starts on the dirt. We're going to go back to his race at Keeneland, 3 starts back where he finishes second in the faster division of 6 furlong maiden special weights. He is on the lead in this spot. He's going to end up getting headed. All in all, Gold Street ran well here, but not as well as he did in his subsequent 2 starts, where he won by 7 at Churchill, and then he won the Sugar Bowl Stakes sprinting. Both of those races over sloppy going. I think he's okay over fast going. Stretching out with other speeds could be a concern, although he is a half to a grade 3 place dirt miler, a horse that I believe ran 3rd in the Long Acres Mile.
I think this horse would be pretty dangerous if you felt like he could get loose on the lead in here, because I think he does have some talent. I just wonder if this pace is really going to play out the way that he might need it to as he stretches out for the first time.
Good formulator fact, though, for trainer Asmussen with this kind of horse, as we see with Gold Street. Past 2 years, 3-year-old last out winners stretching out from sprint to dirt routes, 8 for 14 with a $4.85 ROI. So we'll see if Gold Street can handle the stretch out and distance. He is razor sharp right now with competitive figs. The 7 is Shoplifted, and this horse won the Springboard Mile last time out after not running very well in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and the American Pharoah. We see him on the outside. He basically had a wide trip throughout in the Springboard Mile. He made a 4-wide bid on the turn. And he's pretty game to wear these horses down, Mike, with an 85 Beyer speed figure. It looks like he's going to get another good pace set up here.
Yeah, I thought he ran pretty well in this race. His Breeders' Cup obviously wasn't a good performance. I didn't think his American Pharoah was bad, though. He was no factor in there, but I didn't think he ran terrible with a pretty tough trip, I thought. Overall, I think he's run pretty well in most of his races. I liked his win last time. The horse that he outfinished Answer In there, that horse looks pretty good to me. I think that was a quality win, and it makes him a serious player right back.
The number 8, Lynn's Map, was entered in the Lecomte last week, drew a terrible outside post position, so trainer Mark Casse called an audible and decided to ship here. This son of Lynn's Map has won his last 2 races with Beyer speed figures that are certainly going the right way, and the horse he beat last time out, Mr. Monomoy, came back to run 3rd in the Lecomte with an 86 Beyer speed figure. He's got a nice pedigree. I like the stamina of Lynn's Map. On top of this, a graded stakes winning sprinter. He's a half to a multiple stakes winner. He's a strong contender. I think he's got a lot of upside.
I agree. I think he's a contender in this race too, and he might be a fair price as well. He's got to take another step forward, but I think he can do that. He keeps getting better with racing. He didn't break that great, I didn't think, last time, but overall he got a really good trip, and he was just dead game to get up. It was only in the last 16th of a mile or so where he started making up ground, and then he got there at the end. A nice performance.
Number 9, 3 Technique's going to stretch out around 2 turns for the first time. He's really done little wrong in New York from 4 sprint starts. He's won his last 2 by open lengths, including this race against entry-level optional claimers, and he's just too much for this field. He blows right by them as a 1-2-9 shot should. The Beyer was only a 73, but it was over a wet track. We know he can run faster. 2 horses out of this race came back to win. The 4th place finisher winning the Pennsylvania Nursery for Pennsylvania Breds with a 76 Beyer. He's bred to stretch out. He's a half to stand the man who just won the Queens County at 9 furlongs.
Yeah, he is bred to stretch out. We'll see if he can do it here. Off of a little bit of a layoff as he ships out of town for the first time too. Listen, that last race didn't come back fast, but that was basically a public workout for this horse. He hadn't run in almost 3 months. And I like the fact that Engelhardt got another race and just didn't just sit on the sidelines with him and then try and come right back and run him in all these stakes races as a 3-year-old. He got 1 extra start into him. This horse won very easily. He's run well in all 4 of his starts, Dan. Will he stretch out or not? I don't know, but he's bred to do it, and he has a lot of talent, this horse.
And I like that Engelhardt has had this horse down here since late December. 4 breezes over the Oaklawn track. He is acclimated, and he's shown some talent, and he might be the right price. He's 9-2 on the morning line, and that's where you're heading as we take a look at our top selections for this race. You're going with 3 Technique. I liked Silver Prospector's race on the Kentucky Jockey Club. Yes, it was over a wet track, but I like the fact that he reverted to rating tactics that seemed to work for him, and I think it'll work well for him here. But maybe last time was the time. He was 7-1 last time. 5-2 might be a little light.
There's a lot of horses that could take money in this race, though, so we'll see. He may not be that short a price. I'm just going to go with 3 Technique, Dan. I like every one of his races. I think he's supposed to stretch out. We'll see if he can get the trip from post 9.
Race number 8 at Oaklawn Park on opening day Friday, the $150,000 Smarty Jones Stakes. It has an approximate post time of 3:52 Central. Best of luck.